I'm Asger. You can ask me anything. Today, I'm going to answer this question. Is climate change man-made? I actually have an opinion on this that I haven't heard anywhere. And of course, it's easy to feel, that's the same for pretty much any human being. We all feel that, oh yes, I have everything figured out. The other people don't see it clearly. But I am a little shocked that I haven't even encountered this opinion anywhere. It's not like I haven't looked into this issue at all. I've heard many debates, many pros and cons, etc., but nothing like this. So bear with me, regardless of what side of the fence you're on. I hope and trust that you will at least understand the principle I'm trying to explain in this video. So we have some arguments for, and we have some arguments against. Now, it's often been said that, is it 95 or 97% of climate scientists agree that it is anthropogenic, that it is man-made. So does that mean that I am automatically 100% sure that it's man-made? No, it doesn't. I am not 100% sure that it's man-made. And if you find yourself on the other side of the fence, you have the ClimateGate, so-called ClimateGate email scandal. You may have heard some criticism of the original data that Al Gore presented. You may have been annoyed by a little bug flying around your face. There are many other arguments against man-made climate change. So let me ask you this. Are you 100% convinced that man has nothing to do with this? And this is the point I want to make. This is actually very, very simple. Regardless of what side you're on, if you're a pro or a con person, you cannot honestly say that you know 100% that it is not man-made or that it is man-made. Both of these positions are dishonest. Now, I am inclined to go with the scientists. But that doesn't mean, and this is a really important point, that doesn't mean that I know that it's man-made. And I have many friends who don't believe in it at all. They think it's just all natural cycles repeating themselves, and now we're entering a new one. But the problem is that on both sides of this debate, people are convinced. But none of the sides can defend intellectually from an honest position to be 100% convinced. I heard a scientist interviewed on TV or something like that, and he said, with all the data that I've seen, I'm convinced that it is man-made. That's an honest statement, whether you agree with it or not. And that's sort of how I feel about it too. But this is actually a major problem for all of us, not just when we talk about climate science, but when we talk about anything really, or anything important at the very least. So it's natural for us to form an opinion. Oh, I don't like this person. I do like this person. I love to go to this restaurant. This restaurant is poor. I don't like their food. All sorts of value judgments. That's just natural and normal. But when we talk about these huge questions that influence not just me, but also you and the guy next door and the guy next door, and everybody more or less, at least has the potential to do so, it's really important that we don't just fall into this pitfall of thinking, okay, we encountered some arguments or some information or some data at any given point, and then that's just what we are convinced of 100%. Whatever evidence you've seen doesn't warrant a 100% confidence. It really doesn't. And even though I am heavily erring on the side of man-made climate change, it's really an important point, not just to the skeptics out there, but also to the people who believe in man-made climate change. Because when you meet people who have the opposite opinion, you're just gonna say, oh, but we know that it's man-made. There's nothing to talk about. Then there's gonna be a friction, right? There's gonna be a conflict, as the ones that may happen in the comments for this video. But there's gonna be a conflict there. What does that do? It shuts down any dialogue. Let me just share an anecdote with you. Back in, when was this? 2007 or 8 or something, I think, when they were just about to power up the particle accelerator in CERN in Switzerland, I remember some of the newspapers reported that some people believe that this could create a black hole that would essentially swallow the entire universe, at least pose some sort of danger to the continued existence of planet Earth. And I remember I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about this dilemma, and I heard myself say I would be willing to accept up to, but no higher than, up to a 1% risk of this happening, because I was so curious about the outcome of the experiment. I mean, I didn't really have any good reasons to believe that the launch of this particle accelerator could create a black hole that would devour Earth. But sometimes it can be fair to assume a risk if you do so on an informed basis. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I want to return to climate science right now. So let's say that you believe that climate change is not man-made. Do you know that that's the case? Can you say with a 100% certainty that it isn't? I mean, I don't think you could do that. And again, I just want to stress, you can't do that the other way around either. You can't say, oh, I know that humans created climate change. I mean, that makes no sense. I mean, none of these positions make no sense. But I'm talking to you right now, the person who's skeptical about man-made climate change. So my worry is the following. Whatever you think, feel, or believe, the odds of you being wrong aren't 0%. They are higher than 0%. Could be 1%, could be 2%, could be 5%, could be 10 or 20 or 50. No one has the exact answer to that question. But if we, and I'm talking about us as a collective right now, if humans consistently take a risk, let's say, okay, so we take a 10% risk here there's a 90% chance that everything's going to be all right, but there's a 10% risk that things are going to turn very sour. And if we keep doing that over and over again, eventually we're going to be wiped out. Something else that really bothers me, and I've been able to reach an agreement with people who are skeptic of man-made climate change on this topic, but I want to share this with you too, because I think it's really damn important. If you dismiss the notion of climate change being influenced or caused by man, it's very easy as a next psychological step to just think that means the climate is fine. We don't have to do anything about it. But, I mean, honestly, I don't really care that much about CO2 levels. It's not that I don't believe in that theory. I do. I err on that side. I already stated that clearly. But the thing is, the oceans are filled with plastic. That's just one thing. Another thing, deforestation is a massive issue in South America and in Asia. And occasionally, huge oil tankers still drop tens of thousands of tons of oil in the oceans. And these are real problems. Air pollution is another problem. And it's easy to just... So if I start addressing, let's say, deforestation or plastic in the oceans, it's so easy for people who don't buy into man-made climate change to just say, it's just like it ends up in this mental category where it's just, that belongs over there with all the nonsense. This is not nonsense. I remember looking at this map in a history book this many, many, many years ago. I think it was a map of my old country, Denmark, and it really just showed the forests on a map of the country in year 1000, in year 1500, in 1950, and whenever I looked at this map, 1990 or 95, something like that maybe. And it was insane. It was just seeing, so going from 95% covered by forest to 50%, to 10%, to 2%. I mean, if we think we can do that to the entire globe, just use everything for food production until we can reach the max population size that we can feed, I mean, that's just insane. Doing it and worry about the consequences later, I mean, I don't think that's a good idea. And again, it actually sort of, again, ties in with this probabilistic thinking. I did a podcast episode on that just recently on my podcast, MetaQuest. I'm leaving a link for that below, where I talk about it. It's not a long podcast. I think it's like 25 minutes or so, where I talk about this probabilistic thinking. Instead of thinking, is this true or is it false? Get in the habit of thinking, what are the odds that this is true or false? you will find that you have, number one, have a much more honest position. You'll have a much more nuanced understanding of things. Whatever number you come up with in any given scenario, you can change that, right? You can change that. So maybe you stumble on a new piece of information. Maybe if I heard of the Al Gore data that wasn't included in at least some of the initial research on man-made climate change, I could adjust my confidence level that it was man-made with 1% or 2%. It's just the smart way of thinking and living. Don't start with a conclusion and then find facts to support it. Look at the facts, come up with a probability level, some sort of confidence level. How confident are you that this is true or this is false, or vice versa? So just to answer the question, with all the stuff I've seen, honestly, I have spent more time looking at the data that support the notion of man-made climate change, but there is more data to look at. So, I mean, there's a natural bias in that in some sense. I mean, it's tempting to say that I know. I mean, it really is tempting. And I think you watching this, whether you're on one side or the other, I think you understand this temptation. You could just feel it, right? It's just so tempting to say, bullshit. It is man-made. Of course it is. We all know. Or the other way around. Bullshit. They're just messing with us. They have some secret agenda that we don't know about. This is all part of some master plan. I mean, it really is tempting to just choose one of these two, but none of them make sense. If you say that you know that this is how it is, 100% certainty, you and I have nothing to talk about. And again, I'm hoping you'll start paying attention to this, because this goes way beyond climate change and the discussion and debate about climate change. People who start with the conclusion, I don't even want to listen to them. Start paying attention to this. People expose themselves very easily. I mean, it's so easy actually once you start noticing this. Some people just start with a conclusion, then they cherry pick some data. Sometimes they pretend that's not what they do, but sometimes it's obvious that that is what they do. Whereas other people said, oh, I stumbled on this and I couldn't help thinking, I mean, could there be something here? Actually, good example could be the Harvey Weinstein case. Did he kill himself? Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd be a moron to sit here and claim that I know that he did or he didn't. But as more and more facts and information came out, I'll be honest with you, a point came where I started asking myself, I wonder, isn't there actually a chance that maybe someone killed this guy? I mean, how could I just rule that out? I can't. But have I seen the smoking gun? Have I seen footage of him actually being murdered by someone? No. Again, I'm left with a confidence level. I mean, in this case, I don't have a specific number. I just want to say, this is what is really meant by having an open mind. Having an open mind isn't just a willingness to embrace the opposite of the mainstream narrative. Sometimes the mainstream narrative is the true narrative, or the truth is closest to the truth at the very least. This is so important. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and please subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for tomorrow. I'll do these videos Sunday through Thursday, so you'll see me tomorrow, and feel free to ask me anything in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good one. Cheers.